Hey everybody, this is Nessa from Nessa's Hair Extensions down at 684 King Street West in Kitchener. Okay, so I'm making this video today because I recently posted a photo of the trim I gave my daughter and styling her and everything like that, and people are like, I got a lot of comments like, oh my goodness, how did you get her hair so nice? And the parents are coming into the store and they're like, I don't know what to do with my kid's hair and it's so much work and so forth. And don't get me wrong, it totally is. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to share with you guys how I care for my daughter's natural hair. And you may find that you have these tips are really helpful for you too, to really maintain and achieve natural healthy hair. Okay, so I have 5 main rules in order to care for natural curly hair. Um, Now, I don't have a model or anybody here that I can actually demonstrate what I do on there, so I'm going to explain it to you. And if you do need further, more detailed instruction, please give me a shout, comment, message me, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Okay, so rule number 1, detangle. Detangle, detangle, detangle. This is so important for hair to really be truly healthy and able to absorb all of the moisture that you're going to try to put in there and to clean it properly and everything. It really does need to be detangled. So the things I use in order to detangle my daughter's hair are wide tooth comb. Yep. And more specifically, also a detangling comb as well. These are different just because there we go, the teeth are much more, they're a little bit weird, but anywho, detangling comb, sorry. Now also, in order to get those smaller knots out and to really get everything nice and smooth, I also use a wide bristle paddle brush as well. This is $3 from the dollar store. I'm so cheap. I refuse to go and spend $20 on a bloody hairbrush. $3 from the dollar store, and this works perfectly. But generally, I do try to stay away from this if possible and stick to just my combs. But only if there's some micro knots I need to get out. Okay, so detangle. Detangling, do this morning and night, especially if you have long curly hair or your child has long curly hair. You are going to expect to spend anywhere from 30 minutes to 60 minutes per day maintaining natural hair, and that is through detangling. Okay, so morning, night, detangle. The next rule is washing. A lot of people don't realize this, but when you either wash your hair too much or too little, it really does bugger it up. It really, really does. Most people wash too often, more than not, and that really isn't very good for your hair. So what do? There's 3 things in terms of cleaning and conditioning that I do with my daughter's natural hair. One, we never wash our hair more than every 72 hours, unless she's decided to get paint in her hair or flour or something ridiculously messy or dirt. Then we will wash her hair more or as when needed, but generally it's no more than once every 72 hours. Now, I do not wash my daughter's hair with shampoo every time I wash it. I usually only have one day where I'm washing with shampoo. So basically my regime goes like this. On a Wednesday, we co-wash hair. So co-washing is basically when we're washing with our conditioner only. I do tend to use conditioners that are very high in moisture. Technically, these are normally meant for natural black hair, but again, use conditioner. Basically, this is the main thing. Use a good, proper moisture-based conditioner. So I put this in her hair. I let it sit there for a couple of minutes. I let her play in the bath or whatnot, and then we'll rinse it out, and we are good. And that's it. So no shampoo, no treatment, no nothing like that. Just a good old conditioner wash to get it in there. Um, our next day when we are doing washing is on a Sunday. Now I do this in 3 parts. So the first thing I do is I apply a treatment to her hair. This is a homemade treatment. I have already posted my coconut milk conditioner, my homemade coconut milk conditioner treatment. But what I also do is I alternate between this coconut milk conditioner treatment and also an avocado and egg treatment as well. Um, Both are really, really easy to make at home. The avocado and egg protein treatment is basically I get one avocado, two eggs, two tablespoons of honey, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, you get that in the blender, you whip it up, and I part my daughter's hair into 4 sections, and I just basically ensure that all 4 sections are completely lathered in this treatment, and I let her basically sit for 30 minutes, or it could be up to an hour depending on what she's doing or what we're doing. I may be making dinner at the same time. Multitask. But anywho, when we get her in the bath, we rinse that all out, and once that is rinsed out entirely, that is when I will add shampoo. I only ever use sulfate-free shampoo on her hair. This is so, so important when you're dealing with natural curly hair. Sulfate-based shampoos will strip curly hair of moisture, of proteins, of nutrients, and that's where you have that really hard, dry hair. And as long as you're using sulfate-based shampoos, you're always going to have dry hair because curly hair just can't take it. So again, sulfate-free shampoo, so important. Now, once I put the shampoo in her hair, I get that lathered up, and I do it in sections. Really, again, really important because curly hair is thick. I rinse that all out, and then I do add my conditioner as I normally would. I let her sit in there for a couple of minutes with the conditioner and rinse. So that is my washing regime. Wednesday co-wash, Sunday treatment, sulfate-free shampoo, conditioner, and that's it, and we're good. Okay, so that is rule number 2. Rule number 3, adding moisture. Oh my goodness, this is so important, and especially this goes out to a lot of those parents or people who are like, I've tried everything. I've tried the creams, I've tried the lotions, I've tried serums, I've tried shampoos, gels, everything like that, and nothing can retain moisture. Okay, so let's face it, a lot of products that you put in your hair may contain alcohol. Alcohol is one of the key things that dries hair out. And I bet you anything, if you go look in some of your ingredients and some products that you've used, you will find alcohol in there somewhere. What do I put on my daughter's hair? I use one of 3 things. The main thing I use is natural shea butter. Okay, I get this in its raw tub form. A lot of people use shea butter to make lotions, to make lip balm, to make lots of stuff. I use it religiously in hair. It is so incredibly brilliant for black hair. Okay, or just for curly hair in general. It is so wonderful for it, and it just soaks it up. So I use this on an everyday basis. I use it not only to add moisture, but also for styling when I want to smooth her hair back into, you know, pigtails or something like that. I use shea butter rather than gels and so forth as well. The other thing I use is Jamaican black castor oil, or also some olive oil and coconut oil as well. When I'm using these oils, normally what I do is I put them in a water bottle. So I will fill about half the water bottle up with water, and the other half I'm filling up with, sorry, a variety of my oils. This one specifically has olive oil and coconut oil in it, but this is just at the store, mind you, and this is more concentrated. But at home, I have one filled with olive oil and coconut oil, and I also have another one filled with castor oil and coconut oil as well. And it just really, really does add the moisture that you need in terms of the wetness that you need to define curls, but also it keeps the moisture that your hair needs in there. If you use plain water, it's going to dry your curls out, sadly. Okay, so that is adding moisture, and again, this is a daily thing. You want to add more moisture when you are at night before you're going to bed, so it gives your hair an opportunity to absorb that, and only a little touch up in the morning when you're styling and so forth as well. Rule number 4, and I know this is one of those rules that people are like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. You got to do it. Trim the ends. Oh my gosh, this is so important. So many people get mixed information. There's some diehard women out there are like, don't trim the ends. Don't touch the hair. You want that length. How are you going to get that length if you trim the hair? Trimming hair does nothing. Like, it's dead anyway, so why are you trimming it? Okay, trimming the ends will not make your physical follicle of that hair any healthier. It won't do a thing for it. What trimming your ends really does is it stops the tension that you put in your hair when you're combing it out. So for example, and I know if you're honest with yourself, you will find that I'm right on this. You know when you're getting your comb out and you start from the top and you're like smooth, 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 and then you get to the ends and you're like, ugh. It's those split ends. Because those split ends are so rough, they are catching on each other and they are forming knots. And what happens when your hair forms knots is it takes you that much longer to comb out. You are putting stress on your hair when you're trying to comb through those knots. And the thing is that the ends, they're dead. The split ends, they're dead. You're not going to repair them. Don't even, anybody that says, oh, repair split ends, you ain't going to repair them. Once they're split, they're split. Chop them off. What's going to happen when you chop them off is that you are not going to have that tension when you're combing your hair. It's going to go straight through. So what that also means is you're going to have less breakage, because those knots and those split ends cause breakage because of the force and tension you're putting on your hair when trying to comb it through. So if you've got that kind of hair that won't grow past a certain length, trim your ends, honey. Trim your ends often. Once every 6 to 8 weeks, you should be trimming your ends. If your hair, you don't have, don't get me wrong, every time, you don't have to trim off like an inch or 2 inches every time you trim your ends. At the most, sometimes you just need to dust your ends. Dusting means that you're basically trimming off not even half a centimeter, like literally this much of it, just to really keep it healthy and stop any tension. I know I've said so much on that. Okay, trim your ends. And the last thing that you can do to keep your hair nice and healthy is really to start putting it in protective styles. For a lot of little boys or men, and who have longer hair, cornrows. Cornrows are a great way to keep your hair healthy and stop breakage and let it grow. For little girls, that could be definitely single braids or cornrows again. I regularly put my daughter's hair in single braids or cornrow braid styles, just because, again, it reduces the amount of stuff I gotta put in her hair. It reduces the amount of tension I put on her hair from combing it every day, detangling and everything like that. So it's really, really important to try to keep your hair in some protective styles as and when needed, to really give it a break from the day-to-day styling. Okay, so that is that for me. Thank you ever so much. If you need further, more in-depth detail on how to care for curly hair, please message me, comment, subscribe. I just don't want this. I could go on in much more detail. Believe it or not, this is probably the 4th time I'm making this video, trying to cut it down from like 30 minutes to 20 to now probably about 15. So, so anywho, you need more information, I'm always here. Please by all means, yeah. All right, check out my other videos. You can see in a link to the corner there on why I think coconut oil is so great, and of course how to revive your weave, which can also be used on natural hair as well, just minus the microwave. Thanks ever so much. Bye.